Hey Gemini, welcome to my channel and happy month of love. Hope you're all doing well. So this is going to be a love reading for you, Gemini, just to check in with what's going on presently, what's coming towards you. Strong placements. So check out your placements. If you don't know where they sit, there is a link in the description box. Okay, Gemini, let's see what is going on for you. In the energy of love, Spirit, please and thank you. For Gemini, strong placements, messages of guidance for love. Just remember, Gemini, the strongest messages always come through. So if it doesn't resonate for you, don't make it fit. Okay, all non-consensual access is now purged and sealed. Okay, let's see, Gemini. Oh, this card wanted to come out. That's the typical Valentine's Day card. Card of Pisces, Knight of Cups. An offer on the table, but it feels hesitant. It didn't jump out, but let's see if it comes out again. Only jumpers, please. Six of Cups, maybe missing someone here, Gemini. Reminiscing, or trying to avoid missing someone. Maybe distracting yourself a little bit, Gemini. The card of deception or self-deception, stealing away into the Knight Swords energy, that's mental energy. Maybe trying to avoid some emotion here. There could be some past emotion coming up for you, Gemini, with the Six of Cups energy. That's about reminiscing about the past. It is about past relationships. It's about soul relationships, relationships that repeat. But it is about missing. It is about remembering. And I feel like for some reason you're trying to avoid this, Gemini. As much as it's coming up for you, you are maybe distracting a little, trying to avoid the release. But with this last full moon in Leo, I do feel like there wasn't much avoiding you can do, or the avoidance wasn't working anymore. And there has been a sense of purging what has been trapped or stored in the subconscious regarding a relationship. Let's see what else. This could also be for your person. This could also be their energy. Yeah, definitely some overthinking going on here, Gemini. Card of self-sabotage. There is some avoidance happening here, either with you or your person. Trying to avoid the reality of the situation, maybe distract yourself from the missing, avoid a conversation. There could have been a difficult conversation happening here. But a lot of swords energy, which is about mental, it's thinking, it's analyzing, it's intellectualizing. And, you know, emotion is not something that can really be intellectualized. It needs to be felt more than thought. And that is your energy, Gemini. Your energy is air energy. It is intellect. It is the mind. But avoiding your heart space for some reason. What else for Gemini? Please and thank you. Something is shifting. Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is a card of Sagittarius, major arcana. It's something's turning. There's a cycle here that could be repeating itself and coming up again for release. Gemini, it's about balancing the shadow aspects of the situation as well as the light aspects, looking at it from different perspectives and revisiting the cycle, but not with the same energy, revisiting the cycle with a new perspective. And maybe this is the processing and the thinking that you've been doing. But something definitely is changing here. You might be overthinking taking a chance on something, Gemini. You know, taking a chance on a relationship or on a situation, maybe even communication. Let's see. King of Cups, card of emotion, card of Scorpio. There seems to be a lot of turbulent emotion beneath the surface that is being balanced. You're trying to stay calm about it. Integrate the lessons, not react, not respond, not speak out about it yet. It's an integration of everything that has been flowing through your heart space right now. You could also be thinking of taking a vacation, Gemini, or just taking some time out from whatever this is. I do feel like the fog is clearing though. I feel like the mental fog is lifting. Like whatever you were experiencing that was causing confusion or a sense of unhappiness or discomfort is lifting right now. It's like you've allowed yourself enough time to process. There was some heartbreak in this situation, Gemini. Let's see, Spirit, what else can you tell us? What else is going on here? What can Gemini expect from love? I do get the sense that you are holding yourself back, Gemini, from something. Maybe afraid of being hurt, afraid of being misunderstood. Observing the situation. Being patient about it. So you are observing, or your person is observing you, but it's a mental observation. There's no action yet. It's page energy, which is a very, it's a innocent energy. Surveying the landscape, looking at whether it's safe to communicate, whether it's safe to come forward. Also looking at what you've invested so far in this relationship, Gemini, and maybe feeling a little bit despondent. Maybe it's not moving in the direction you wanted to move in, or it's not, yielding the results and the outcomes that you were expecting. So it's releasing these expectations, Gemini, and observing the situation from a different perspective and thinking about what the next step is here. Do you walk away, or do you there's like a decision. Do you walk away? Do you invest some more? exactly a decision. You know, there are feelings here, but you are stuck in your mind a little about making a decision about this because you fear the emotional consequences either way of this decision. I do sense, and you know, it is blocking or avoiding emotion, is what I was picking up in the beginning. Trying to steal away from your own emotion that's been coming up for you. Because she is crossing her hands over her heart space, so not allowing anything in, not allowing anything out. Staying blindfolded though, so going within is what the blindfold means, is not allowing yourself to be influenced by, you know, others' opinions or external factors, but going within and looking at two sides of the situation. And there's always two sides to a story, and then there's, you know, the third story, which is the truth of the relationship itself. But you've been thinking about the different perspectives in this situation, Gemini, but not ready to act yet. Definitely not ready to move forward with any kind of decision or communication. Something is keeping you frozen in your emotions here. This could also be your person for the cross watchers. Wanting to communicate. I think you do definitely want to. There is a sense of wanting to reach out with an innocent message, with, you know, a gentle gesture. That's maybe what you are being guided to do here, Gemini. I do feel like this is what is shifting in the communication. There might be some new revelation or new insight about this, Gemini, that will help you move forward. I do see some insight coming in here, some willingness to explore and be open, because blocking, you know, can be very restrictive. It restricts the third eye, it restricts our intuition, it restricts our manifestation as well. And you're sensing that feeling of being blocked, and it's not a comfortable feeling. You know, for a while we can stay there, for a while we can avoid for a while until the avoidance no longer works. You know, it no longer brings the same distraction or satisfaction as it used to, because this is a deep emotion, so it is going to be coming up again and again until it is felt and until it is released. Yeah, it is a deep emotion. There's deep regret here. There's a sense of what was lost. There's regret about the situation. It's a card of Scorpio. You know, Scorpio goes very deep into emotion, and it's interesting that it's coming underneath the King of Cups, which is the card of Scorpio and the King of Emotion. Five of Cups is about, you know, looking back and seeing what was lost, what was spoiled. Maybe there were words exchanged that, you know, you now regret, or that you are mulling over and regurgitating in your mind, trying to understand different perspectives, but also recognizing that it's not so much about understanding the other person's perspective, but also about how this makes you feel, focusing on how it makes you feel, you know, whether you feel safe in the connection, whether you feel calm in the connection, whether you feel you can move on here. But there is still hope. You know, the Two of Cups behind you, regardless of what happens in the situation, love is never lost. You know, the energy of love is never lost, even if the situation doesn't work out the way we wanted it to. The energy of love is never wasted. So intellectualizing it, you might be thinking, you know, you wasted your time, you wasted your energy, you wasted your effort, but there were a lot of lessons that came out of that for you, and it is building your resilience, your emotional resilience, and your emotional capacity, actually, to open your heart space even more with deeper knowledge and a new understanding of how to move forward. You could be dealing with a Scorpio. We've got Sagittarius here as well. but strong Scorpio energy. What is the outcome of this situation? What else can you tell us for Gemini? Please and thank you. What is the outcome here? This feels like it's recent. This feels like it's an emotion that has come up for you again after maybe a long time, and you're kind of wondering, why is this coming up in my field again? It's just, clearing out, Gemini. It's clearing out so that you can make space for new thinking, new energy, new perspective. I do feel, again, the Page of Swords. So new perspective, observing, not moving, not acting yet. You might be wanting to get out there and socialize, Gemini. Turn on the charm, turn on the wittiness, and draw on your social circles, draw on your close friends, to get through the situation. I do feel like this is something that you're wanting to do. You do understand that you can't isolate yourself forever. You also could be, someone could be observing your social media, just observing your social media right now. You could be observing this person's social media. Maybe there's a sense that they are moving on, or that they are having a good time without you, and that's keeping you up in your head a little bit, over analyzing. But social media is a trap. I mean, we never get the reality of social media, and nowadays we don't even know what is AI generated and what is real. So what I'm hearing for you is to stand in your own truth and not make up a version of the truth based on what you are seeing, what you are observing, but rather what you know to be true, or your own intuition. And praying about this, Gemini, a little bit more. It does feel like you are confused here. Why is the Three of Cups here for Gemini? Missed opportunity. There's a missed opportunity here. This could be on your side, reluctant to make a decision, reluctant to move forward. This could be with your person. It could be someone that is already in a partnership or a connection, and that's why it's a little complicated. Or someone who is emotionally unavailable, Gemini, is what I'm feeling. You feel like running away. I do feel like you just feel like cleaning the slate and just leaving this completely behind. Card of Cancer. I do feel like the emotions are a little bit overwhelming for you right now, Gemini. You're wanting to rely on your mind, and maybe that's why you're avoiding and going back to the intellect, is you're wanting to find a safe space, and your mind for you, Gemini, has always been, your head space has always been what has guided you and what has kept you safe. But it's not feeling like that any longer, and that's the sense you have of wanting to run away, because you don't feel like you can escape the situation, the emotion of the situation any longer. And you don't need to, as difficult as it is, Gemini, feel what needs to be felt so that it can process through you and release. Tears are healing water. Tears are healing water. And the moment you do release, you will get the sense that, something is leaving your field or leaving your energetic field. But if we're holding on to it, it doesn't make space for new energy to come in. And it can make you feel stuck and stagnant. What else for Gemini? Please and thank you. Yeah, this feels like a burden, Gemini, for you. It's like you just want to manifest your way out of this as quickly as you can, because it does feel intense. What else for Gemini, Spirit, please and thank you. Six of Cups again. This is definitely a past relationship. This is definitely something from the past that is coming back for resolution. You know, even if it's not resolution with the other person, it's resolution in your own heart and mind, Gemini, about it, about the situation. Scorpio energy again, and a repeating message. Missing, the missing. You know, allow yourself to miss, allow yourself to reminisce, allow yourself to go back there and release whatever needs to be released from that timeline, in order to move on. I do feel like it's about taking out, you know, the positives and the lessons from it as well, what you learned from it, how you grew from it. Wanting to rush in with communication. You could be receiving a message from, or maybe, you know, this is what started the whole thinking or the whole missing, is you might have received a message from this person and you're not sure how to respond to it, or you're not sure where this communication is going. Spirit, why is the Knight of Swords here? Yeah. Spirit is saying to pause a little with this situation, to pause a little. You know, this does feel like it's karmic, this does feel like it is coming back for release. It does feel like it's making space for new energy. But there is definitely a release happening here. The Judgment card, card of karma. It could have been triggered by this last full moon on Sunday. You being asked to pause and reflect on this, Gemini. Listen to source, pray about it. You know, I've been getting, throughout your reading, I've been sensing to pray about the situation, because it does feel like it is consuming your mind. But this is coming in to release you and to support you in moving forward in whatever form that takes. Another card of Scorpio. Okay, Gemini, I'm sending you so much love for the situation. Be gentle with yourself if this did resonate. If not, please don't take it on. Please don't make it fit or make it your story. If you'd like a personal reading, my details are in the description below. But I hope this helped in some way, Gemini. Sending so much love. Until next time.